Hi, I'm Elizabeth, aka Lady of Time Cosplay, and this is your Temple of Geek Doctor Who news update for June 7th through June 13th, 2024, bringing you news from all corners of the Whoniverse. First up, the next batch of Doctor Who novelization adaptations has been announced. 3 brand new books will adapt episodes from Ncuti Gatwa's first series as the Doctor. This will include Space Babies by Alison Rumfitt, a writer and cultural critic whose work includes 4 novels Tell Me I'm Worthless and Brainwyrms, 73 Yards by Scott Handcock, the script editor for this series of Doctor Who and the Tales of the TARDIS spinoff, and Rogue by the episode's original writers Kate Herron and Briony Redman. Church on Ruby Road novelization by Esmie Jikiemi-Pearson will also be republished in paperback as part of this release. Each book will also feature new cover art by Dan Liles. All 4 books will be released on paperback and audiobooks on August 8th this year. Fans can pre-order the books now. However, bookstores in the U.S. right now are only able to offer pre-orders for digital versions of the books. Next up, we have some audio news, because as announced at the annual Big Finish Day, the first in the company's long-running Doctor Who monthly adventures range is getting a re-release. In celebration of 25 years of Doctor Who audio dramas at Big Finish, they will be re-releasing a director's cut of The Sirens of Time. Sirens of Time feature the return of Peter Davison, Colin Baker, and Sylvester McCoy for the first time on audio, reprising their roles as their respective doctors. The story has been remastered and re-edited from the original tapes. This version, instead of focusing on one Doctor story at a time, weaves them together for a more narratively satisfying experience. The re-release will also feature new sound design, new music, and new interviews with the trio of Doctors as they look back on 25 years of Doctor Who audio dramas at Big Finish. Doctor Who The Sirens of Time Redux will release this November. Pre-orders are available now at various tiers, though the Platinum and Gold releases, limited to 100 and 150 copies respectively, have already sold out. Those interested may still have time to pre-order the Silver Edition, limited to 1,000 copies, and get the release on both Collector's Edition CD and download. Or listeners can also purchase the Bronze Edition on download only, with an unlimited number of those available. And some more book news for Doctor Who. The first and previously announced 3 new original 15th Doctor novels is out now. Ruby Red by Georgia Cook, an illustrator and writer whose credits include several Big Finish Doctor Who audio dramas, released on June 13th. The novel features the Doctor and Ruby as they answer a distress call from medieval Russia from an alien girl named Rivera, forced into a war between Estonia and Novgorod as part of a family tradition. However, as the battle starts, there's another faction at work hidden beneath a frozen lake. The book and audiobook, read by Ruby's actress Millie Gibson, is out now. Unfortunately, also as of right now, fans in the U.S. are only able to buy the audiobook and digital copies of the book from U.S.-based retailers, with no option for physical copies at this time. And in our last piece of news, Susan is back. Susan, the Doctor's granddaughter, is back for more audio drama adventures at Big Finish. The company recently announced that 2 new box sets for Susan's War, the series that follows Susan as she does her part in the Time War, will be releasing soon. Previously, the series featured Susan and the 8th Doctor as he resists getting involved in the Time War. But these new stories will see Susan meet a very different version of her grandfather. The War Doctor is played by Jonathan Cartley. The 2 new box sets are Susan's War Family Ties and Susan's War Grandfather Time, and each will feature 2 full-cast audio drama stories. Family Ties releases this August and includes The Lost Son by Sarah Cassidy and The Golden Child by Peter Antilles. Grandfather Time doesn't have a confirmed release date yet, but will feature the stories The Last of the Collins by David Llewellyn and The Board Alliance by Andrew Smith. Script editor Matt Fitton had this to say about the upcoming releases. Quote, "This is a different angle on the Time War. It's much more to do with diplomacy and espionage. Susan's not a soldier. She uses her brain and her empathy for forging alliances with other species for the Time Wars. And I like to keep an aspect of the 1960s present, so we touch on characters, situations, and alien races that hark back to the time when Susan was traveling with the Doctor." End quote. Susan's War Family Ties and Grandfather Time are available for pre-order now from Big Finish's website as both Collector's Edition CD box sets and digital downloads. Thanks so much for joining me for this week's Temple of Geek Doctor Who News Roundup. If there's any cool Doctor Who news that I missed this week, be sure to let us know in the comments, and I'll see everybody again next week. Bye!